So I started realizing, I started noticing something. Just this morning, this thought crossed my mind, and I don't remember what triggered it, but I was thinking about people, and I was thinking about someone in particular that I know, and I know this person just kind of going through a little depression. I know so many people who have gone through like depressions, and it's like it seems that there seems to be a massive epidemic kind of status of depression, and I know I know a lot about people's inner workings. Not like I'm some kind of like fancy, you know, superior authority on this. I think we all know. But I took this class in college called Women's Development and Lifestyle Choices, and I was the only dude in the class, unsurprisingly. you know, I didn't say much, just to just to make that clear in the class. But every now and then the professor would say, "Dave, what do you think?" I'd be like, "Okay, do you want what I really think, or do you want or do I need to keep myself from being lynched today?" Kind of thing. I'll never forget though, learning so much about the way women would think and the way they perceive themselves. And I also know there's a lot of women, and I know many of them go through like lots of anxieties and depressions. Like, and I don't know where they come from. And I look around the world right now, especially here in this 21st century, and right here in particular in California or wherever you see, you may be in the first world. It's kind of funny. I was talking to my dad about life once, and he was just talking in general, and he was really stressing out over something. He was going through this real difficult situation in his life. It's like, man, I have to wait because the construction workers and the materials are all behind. So I have to wait like 3 months before I can get my big shop um, built. Before they can actually build it, they need to pour the foundation. It's really rough. And the ground is really hard and all this. And I need this to be able to store my big RV. And I just started laughing. I said, "First world problems." you know. Meanwhile, there's like some kid who doesn't know if he's gonna eat today. Somewhere in the world. So it just made me laugh. And when you think about that kind of thing, it's like the truth is, I look around at all these people and I think, man, you have no problems. Like, you don't actually have problems. I don't really actually have problems. I really don't. Um, and most of the people I know don't actually have problems. There are a lot of people in the world that do. But in the 21st century in California, um, we don't really have problems. We have high expectations because you drive down Balfour right here, the road that runs through Brentwood, and you see construction and you see all these 2,000 square foot houses being built. So we have expectations, and that's like what was it? I can't remember the guy. I think it was Picasso who talked about the rising tide. Was it Picasso? Somebody who talked about the rising tide. When the tide rises, all the boats rise with it, right? The small boats rise with the tide, and so do the big battleships, right? So even if you're more on the lowly side of life, as the tide rises of the expectations of the world around us and everything, so do yours. You know what I mean? Like, I may only make $15,000 a year, but that is a whole lot more than most of our ancestors made. You know what I mean? Is this making sense? And we live in a really weird world where many homeless people are overweight. Like that's just bizarre when you look around. You know, back in the day, I remember you see a homeless person, he's skinny. Like can't get a bite to eat. I have offered food to so many homeless people, and they all say no. Well, one guy said yes recently, but he wasn't really that hungry. Like you can just tell. I'm not being insulting. This isn't to be insulting at all. Not in the slightest. This is just pointing out some realities, which I get in trouble for sometimes. So I look around the world, it's like, dude, we don't actually have problems, but we do have issues, and I'm trying to figure out like why. And then I don't have all the answers by any means. From a spiritual perspective, from a biblical point of view, of course, we all have the problem of sin. That is a problem, and what to do about it. Of course, Jesus is the answer, um, which He freely distributes to us as a result of His grace when we respond to it properly. But when it comes to the way our world is going right now, it's just interesting to me how like as the expectations arise, the less happy we are, and then the more issues we create. And that's actually the conclusion that I'm coming to right now is we humans by nature are creative, very creative, um, which can be a very beautiful thing or it can be a very detrimental thing. And there's verses in the Bible that talk about how the wicked are inventors of evil things. Man has sought out many inventions, of evil things. We can concoct all kinds of sick, twisted ways to get what we want, which is one of our issues. Even though I don't actually have any real problems in life, I create problems by creating issues, and that's kind of the whole point. That's like a sequential process, I think. God provides. I'm not thankful, and I'm not satisfied. Therefore, I come up with issues and things I'm not happy about, and as a result, become selfish, and then concoct little ways of getting what I want, whether it be attention or status or just simply more super stimulus of the body, which could be substance abuse or sexual immorality or whatever it may be. Abusing my relationship with my phone or abusing my relationship with the opposite sex or even the same sex. I mean, think about it now. Think about how much issues people are creating because there's no actual problems in our lives. Um, we need to create problems, create issues. So, see, if you had to work hard just to get a bowl of rice, then you wouldn't be able to come up with the idea, I'm in the wrong body. You wouldn't be able to, you wouldn't have the freedom to even think about that. I mean, there's no surprise here. There's no shock that people are just coming up with problems to have. We are free, and we like to believe that we aren't, and therefore come up with things to fight for when we don't actually have to fight for freedom. Anyway, thank you.